Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new league racing video.
And this is Seifenkisten Kreisliga in round 11 in Silverstone. This is our first quali lap. Get into the final chicane and prepare our lap. We get away pretty good, so we should be at a pretty good end speed at the end of the straight. Good first corner, nothing special. Not good braking, missed the apex, and pretty slow corner speed, but pretty good exit. Now we have to get the left handle. It's a pretty important corner and we miss it completely, and because of that we miss the line on the next corner as well. But we had a pretty good exit again. Now full speed, no lift around this corner. I don't know the name, sorry, but we missed the apex there also. We shifted down pretty early and had a little wiggle on the exit, so not a great lap so far, but nothing too bad. Great exit here. Now don't miss the braking. A bit missed the apex, but pretty good exit again. And that was our first quali lap at 27.174. We are P1 with that, but we fall into P4 to our last lap of qualifying because I went for the wrong tire strut. I had a hard instead of a soft, but now we had a pretty okay exit on the straight, nothing special. A good turn 1, don't miss the braking. A way better corner there, not by the delta but from the feeling. Good exit, but this corner is crucial again and we get it way better this time. And this corner whipped up as well, and so we are in the positives with 1/10 of a second. Now we are trying to get the apex here, but I miss it again. So now the left, the right, downshift. Way better than our last round, so we have now 4/10 a second and a purple middle sector, but you can't trust that shit in this game, so missed this corner completely, so lost very much time. Many tens, but good final corners and pretty okay lap, 26.6. My personal best is at 25.8, but third, it's pretty okay. So today we are going for one stop, medium hard, and now onto the start we go. And 5 red lights and away we go, and we catch the start instantly and pass while on the right instantly, but in the background you can see on the little screen on the left we have fucking explosions and in the back, so we are in the virtual safety car. We are trying to stay in the 1 second to pace in front of us. He's the fastest in the league by far, so if we can stay on pace with him, it would be a great showcase that we have pace on this track. Pace your name is pretty bad for this shit. But we're in the end of lap 1 at 7/10, 8. And while we are trying to stay in the 1 second window, we are also trying to stay out of the DRS of Wall behind us. Wall is this trash with German names and English commentary. But Hayes gets the fastest lap as usual in lap 1, and we are pushing quite much with our EIS just to stay with him. He's way faster in the corner as we are, but that's nothing to worry about, to be fair, because we can stay there with DRS, and when we get into a DRS we can stay in the second with the DRS. So getting quite close to the 1 second there, but nothing that DRS can't handle, so we get into the 8/10 again. We try to have as much grip as possible. I don't worry about tire wear in this race because I just want to stay with the 2 fastest people in the league. That's Val, who's behind us, and Pace in front of us. So we have the purple middle sector again, and we are pretty far away again from Pace, but we get into the final chicane. We get pretty close, and Pace makes a mistake and spins. We get the fastest lap, but it gets taken by Val. So now we just want to stay away from Val. So you see my DRS is pretty down. We are in lap 4 now, and Wall has catched us because I stopped using my DRS, because under 20% in lap 3 would be a crucial mistake. So I'm on DRS saving right now. But I can stay in my DRS because we wouldn't get away anyway. So we are just trying to stay in front of him, and if he passes us, we try to pass him on the next DRS straight. So now we let him go here because he was going for a stupid move. We get the DRS detection exactly here, so we don't have to worry about the fact that we have to pass him because we have DRS and a way better exit. So we pass him easily without the usage of DRS. Not a great corner, but it was enough to stay ahead. So just don't make mistakes and stay in front. I was pretty fine with the setup. The setup was pretty stable, except for when the tires started getting very, very old. But luckily in lap 5 that's not the case. So we can push as hard as we want. And Val is not going for a move here. I crossed the white line there, but we are driving on regular because there are some beginners in this league, so we don't want to give them 3-second penalties every lap so that they get disqualified in lap 7 or something like that. But now he will get DRS, but we both pass the white line there. So we are trying to get a great exit here, but we missed the last corner completely, so he will get past us pretty easily, but that's actually not that bad. We are in lap 5, so we can use that to our advantage to load our ERS. Like as you see, he's flashing, so that means that he's under 15% of ERS, so you have more than double of that. and just by staying behind we are loading our ERS more than he is, because we are faster into the corner, have to brake harder, and that's how you load the ERS in this game. So he's using his ERS quite much. I don't know why. It's the best for us both to just work together, pass each other when we are clearly faster, don't defend as hard. And we passed the white line there again, so we would have gotten a 3-second penalty, but as I said, we are driving in regular, so it was a mistake. I don't get a warning for that, so I even lost time, I think so. Now we are gonna get DRS again, and we are pretty close going down to 5th gear for the better acceleration, but we are not getting pretty close. But now he loses the power of the ERS, and that's how much our advantage is. We didn't even want to go for a move, but because he lost the 160 horsepower from the ERS, we just went past him without any problem. So now we are going on to lap 7 with 40% ERS. Pretty stable car, the tire wear is pretty fine, around 30% right now, I think so. And Val is pretty close behind us, but again not close enough for a move into the next corner. So pretty okay corner here, and pretty okay braking for the next one. Pretty slow cornering speed, but nothing catastrophic. Was that correct? I don't think so. Who cares? So he is pretty close right now. 2/10 of a second is nothing. So he is clearly going to get DRS. We are going to enter 5th gear because I don't want it to go for a move, but just I felt that the tires weren't as grippy as I wanted it to, so I can go as fast in the corners anymore as I want. So he wanted to attack us in that corner after the DRS zone, but we defended it. So we are still ahead and going into lap 8. 42% tire on the front, so we have to be pretty careful in the fast corners from now on, because understeer is going to be a bigger and bigger point from now on. So he's pretty close this time, but I got a pretty bad acceleration, so we don't have to worry about an attack. This time I don't know why we use DRS. I think I hope that we can use that to get out of DRS, and we actually get out of DRS, but that's because he disconnected. And you saw in the close-up, I didn't know while I was racing that he disconnected. That went away so quickly. But now, lap 13, going into the pits, and you can see there are yellow flags on the track, but that were not the ones. But we go into the safety car right now, and that's very good for us. Not good, bad. It's very bad for us because we had so much space to the back field. We could have went completely normal, no stress. We nearly hit the pit exit wall because I looked in the back who's pitting. But now with the safety car, everyone is going to be behind us, and we are going to have to defend. ourselves. And also that basically means ERS reset for everyone, so we had a pretty big ERS advantage to die behind us, but now we are all on 100% and we'll have to see how we use them to get away or to stay ahead. So we are leading the safety car pack, so we decide when we are stepping onto the gas, and I decide that we are going on in the apex of the corner, so no one is luckily reacting fast enough, so we get 6 temps onto Y, but he catched up pretty close into the chicane, so 4 temps only between us. Cyborg GKI 92. This is his best race so far with P3, so Pace is behind him, so Pace is going to pass him pretty easily, I think. But he can hold him up as long as he can hold him up. That's the plan from me, to get as far away from Pace as possible, because he's on new mediums and we are on new hards. So in the 8-9 laps that are left from this race, we are not going to have that big of an advantage. We nearly lose the back end there because I went wide, but we can go fast again, so we stay in 6th gear, go a bit wide, but use the DRS. I don't know why Wal is going for a move there, but I let him pass, because so we can work together. I don't want to lose time. That's my only thing. That's the only thing I have in my mind right now. So now the plan is to stay out of the DRS from Pace and stay in the DRS of Val in front of us. If Pace catches us, it's going to be pretty hard to defend against him. So we are trying, at least I am trying, I don't know what Wall was trying. We are in the same team, but he didn't came into the team voice chat, sadly. We could have told each other that we have to get away from Pace, but maybe for the races in the future that's something that could be done, but we didn't do it for this race, so we had no communication. But we have 1 second and 1 temp to Pace. That's pretty much nothing, because he's so much faster in the corners. I go from the gas there on the straight just because I don't want to fight. I want to stay ahead of Pace. We have 8 laps to go, so we have no worry of getting into a fight for P1, because we will get past anyway. But now Pace got into the DRS just because he had that more grip in the fast and also the slow corners. So now he's up onto 8 tenths of a second, and it's pretty much nothing. As you can see, now he's on to 5 tenths, 6, and getting closer corner by corner. So I think Pace is going to think the same that we are, so no stress, just stay behind and use the ERS to stay close, but do not overtake, because you are going to get overtaken back, especially if you are P1. I lose the back end a bit there, but only because I want to get a good acceleration in front of Pace. And I used quite a bit of ERS there to get back on pace there, on speed, because I lost so much time on the exit there that we had to go under 40% of ERS, which is pretty bad. I would prefer if we had 50-60%, but that's in what situation we are. So 6 laps to go. I defend a little bit from Pace there because I thought he's going for a move, but no, he stayed on the racing line. Val is getting a bit slow in some corners, so right now I'm thinking about getting past him in some time, even though that's not what you want to do, because if you're in front you have to use your ERS to stay in front of people who have ERS, just to keep distance and defend, because the DRS is pretty much powerful in this game. So what we are trying to do is stay as close to Val as possible to get past him in the next upcoming laps, even though we have no ERS to defend that. But he's holding us up in some corners right now, so we have to make a decision. But he's staying ahead just enough so that we can't attack him. So we've seen before that 4/10 is here way too much to start an attack even with ERS, and we have 5/10 on the exit. So we have to stay behind him. But we get pretty close in this corner right here. We often get a way better exit, as this time. We use the ERS to get a bit away from Pace. And now we have 3/10 of a second to him, and we are going to try to attack him, especially because he made pretty many mistakes in the fast corners. So DRS, he's flashing, so he has no DRS left, and we go into the inside and pass him for the lead of the race. But now we are the ones giving away the pace that we are driving, so we have to step up a bit, because if we don't step up, then what was the point of getting past him? So he's pushing pretty hard with the ERS again, so I don't get why exactly, because there was no overtaking opportunity. And we have way more ERS than he has, so I don't really know what he was trying to do there, but we have 3/10 of a second in a lead. That's nothing. We had also 3/10 of a second. We were also 3/10 of a second behind him when we overtook him, so we know that that's nothing. And now we have to get these corners right just to get a good exit, and we managed that pretty easily. So he's using DRS, we are using ERS to defend, and they are fighting behind us, and Pace overtook him actually. So now we have to step the pace up even more, because he's on the fresh mediums, but we go wide, and that's why we go wide here as well. We lose pretty many tenths of a second. I think nearly 3/10 could be won if we had managed to get these corners right. But now we have 4.5 tenths of a second to pace, and that's nothing. We learned that in the laps before. So we have to get every single corner right. We go a bit wide there, so that's a good start. A bit wide here. But we hope for a good exit. I use my overtake button and now we are flashing as well. So we got also into the territory where you only can get out with DRS, especially if you are fighting. And we make pretty many mistakes right here. Get wide, touch the grass, lose the car and hit Pace's front wing and even damage it a bit. So that's not good. I told him I was sorry for that after the race, and I told that also in the footage. But yeah, that's pretty bad that we could have ruined Pace's race with that. But now onto the 24th lap we go. I'm not sure that if Pace has wing damage right now, but I suspect it pretty badly, and that's what left the back of my mind when I saw that he was so quick compared to Val. Like, he gets so close in some places that I just didn't thought that he could have wing damage. Especially because he catches that one way better than we do, and we have full front wing. So we stay behind for quite some time. I know that I realized in the next lap, I think, that he has the wing damage, but sportsmanship would have suggested that I leave him P2 because I caused the damage that he had, so it would have been fair if I left him P2, but I just felt like P1 was possible. The guys in front of me are flashing constantly, so we are pushing to get past Pace, to catch Val, because he was getting pretty far away. So what we are trying to do is basically just stay as close as possible to Pace, to overtake him into the next DRS zone, to push for catching Val. So here I realized that he's got a wing damage, and pushed pretty hard in these corners to get as close as possible to attack him. And he defends pretty hard, harder than I expected, because I think he thought that I wouldn't attack him out of sportsmanship, but we had to use a pretty big portion of our battery right there, so we have not more. I suggest we have even less battery than Val in front of us, so we have to get closer by raw pace, and that's going to be pretty hard. But we get pretty close to the first DRS zone, lose the back end a bit, but now we are pushing to get as close as possible to stay in the dirty air. Is not a good idea, but we also lose quite some time because of that, but so we are going up to the final DRS zone. We are 3/10 away, that's nothing, but we also don't have DRS and he's not flashing, so he's got over 15% DRS. So now we have to get a good exit. But we don't get that. He gets a way better exit than we do. And it's just not enough. We are not getting close enough to launch an attack on him. So we stay behind. We try to get as close as possible in the chicane, but we nearly throw our own race away with that. So yeah, it's P2. Sportsmanship would have meant that I leave P2 for pace. In the aftermath, that was the first thing I thought about. But we are back on the podium, baby! So sorry for that pace. We spoke about that after the race in private, so everything is dealt with. But P2 and P1 for McLaren, very good result for us. It was a pretty intense race and a very, very fun race. So AMG Factory gets 4th, Krebs 5th. And the standings, we are now 7th with Mr. Luke. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If, consider subscribing and see you next Friday.